For such a time as this. The Book of Esther, chapters 3 to 10. There are moments in history when God does not shout, yet his hand moves everything. The Book of Esther is one of the most powerful proofs that God can be silent and still be sovereign. No miracles recorded, no prophets mentioned, no visible fire from heaven, yet deliverance came. And today's story begins with hatred, but it will end with purpose. Part 1. Pride that births destruction. Haman the Agagite was promoted and walked the halls of power clothed in honor. Men bowed, officials knelt. The king trusted him, but one man, Mordecai, refused to bow. That refusal ignited a fire in Haman's heart. His pride could not tolerate resistance. What should have been ignored became a plan for extermination. Haman did not seek justice. He sought revenge. And so he cast lots, searching for the right day to destroy every Jew in the empire. Lesson 1. Pride is never small. Pride may begin as a personal offense, but it often ends as corporate destruction. When pride goes unchecked, it does not just want satisfaction, it wants elimination.
Part 2. When the righteous weep. When the decree was published, mourning filled the land. Sackcloth replaced silk. Cries replaced celebration. Mordecai wept openly at the king's gate. Esther heard, but she did not understand. From behind palace walls, she lived in comfort, unaware that her silence placed her in danger too. When Mordecai sent word, Esther hesitated. "I cannot go to the king unless I am summoned." Fear spoke louder than faith. Lesson 2. Comfort can blind you to crisis. It is possible to be protected personally while destruction is happening publicly, but safety is temporary when destiny is ignored. Then came Mordecai's words, "Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" In that moment, Esther realized her crown was not a reward, it was a responsibility.
Part 3. Courage born from consecration. Esther did not rush into action. She called for fasting, no makeup, no feasting, no strategy first, only prayer. Lesson 3. Spiritual battles are won spiritually. First, before you confront kings, systems, or enemies, you must first confront heaven. 3 days later, Esther stood before the king. If he rejected her, she would die. Yet she walked forward. "If I perish," she said, "I perish." Lesson 4. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is obedience in the presence of fear. The king extended the golden scepter. Favor answered courage.
Part 4. God's silent night shift. Esther delayed her request, inviting the king and Haman to a banquet. Then another. Meanwhile, Haman built gallows for Mordecai. But that night, God intervened without speaking. The king could not sleep. Records were read. Mordecai's loyalty was discovered. Lesson 5. God can work while you sleep. When heaven is involved, night seasons become divine work shifts. The same man who planned Mordecai's death was commanded to honor him publicly. Lesson 6. God specializes in reversals. What was designed for your shame can become your platform.
Part 5. Truth revealed, evil exposed. At the final banquet, Esther spoke, "This decree is against me and my people." The king demanded to know the enemy, and Esther pointed, "This wicked Haman." Lesson 7. There is power in speaking at the right time. Silence can protect you temporarily, but truth delivers permanently. Haman was executed on his own gallows. Lesson 8. What you build for others can become your end. Never dig pits with pride. You may fall into them.
Part 6. From threat to triumph. Though the first decree could not be reversed, a new one was released. The Jews were empowered to defend themselves. What was meant for annihilation became celebration. Lesson 9. God doesn't always remove the battle. Sometimes he gives you authority to win it. The people triumphed, joy returned, and Purim was born. Closing, destiny remembers the brave. Mordecai rose in honor, Esther reigned in wisdom, and God's name, though unspoken, was glorified. Lesson 10. God positions people before problems arise. You are not where you are by accident. Your job, your family, your influence. It may all be for such a time as this.
Final words. When God seems silent, He is still strategic. When the threat is real, victory is closer than you think. And when you stand in obedience, deliverance will follow. So no matter what you are going through, no matter the threats of your enemies, God never comes late. What the enemies have planned for you will befall them in Jesus' mighty name. Share and subscribe for more inspirational Bible stories.